G'day, I'm Lewis, and after breaking down the anatomy of an athlete, today BSC presents Train Like a Pro, the systems behind elite performance made for every athlete. Training like a professional athlete isn't defined by talent alone. It's built on preparation, discipline, structure, and intent that shapes everything behind the scenes. Because elite performance isn't just about what happens on game day, it's about what happens every day. Strength and conditioning coach Clint Hill. With a background in human biomechanics, his philosophy is simple. Every athlete is different, and so is the path to performance.
One of the things that I always talk about for people when they ask the question, what is training like a pro? It's about being prepared. It's about understanding what your goal is, having a full training plan in place, but also having the right team around you to make sure that your nutrition is on point, your recovery is on point, your lifting is on point, and ultimately your sport training is on point.
Preparation isn't theoretical. It's built in the details. Repeated, refined, and trusted under pressure. For Olympic surfer Saffi Vette, performance begins long before she enters the water. It's a process shaped by routine, guided by specialists, and designed to meet the unpredictable demands of the ocean. Because when the moment comes, there's no time to adjust, only to execute.
Hey, I'm Saffi Vette, an Olympic surfer. The physical part of preparing for an event starts well and truly before the event kicks off. I've been training months in advance.
Hey guys, my name's Scott. I'm a physiotherapist and owner of Sapien Rehab and Performance. So I've been working with Saffi for 4 years now. In the lead up to the competition is we reduce the load. So we still continue to train, we still continue to move, we still continue to mobilise and activate the body, but we want the body feeling ready and prepared, but also not fatigued. Paddling is a huge aspect of surfing for recreational and high performance surfers. So in terms of paddle power specifically and propulsion, upper body pulling strength is really important. So that's things like the lats, things like pull downs, pull-ups, rowing variations.
Banded rows, I'm just activating my whole shoulder to scapular motion, mirroring the fact that I'm going to be paddling a lot during this event as a point break. And I'd repeat this for like 10, 15 reps. And then I swap sides because we don't just paddle with one arm in surfing.
Once you're standing on the wave and things like maneuvers, it then comes a lot to being able to compress and extend the legs, which is ankle range, lower body strength, and then hip range of movement to get into a low compressed position. And then a lot of our high performance movers like big turns, carves, cutbacks, we're really relying a lot more there on the trunk, which is sort of this whole middle section of the body. And that's where a lot of our core strength and rotational training should transfer to those high performance maneuvers. The importance of having balance through their body is really unique to surfing, and that comes across in both performance and style, which we basically need a combination of joint mobility and control. We train these things in the gym, basically an assessment to identify the key restrictions and then targeted exercises for mobility to restore any lost range of movement.
Preparation for surfing events is surfing in anything and everything. We have no idea what the conditions are going to be like in 3 weeks' time. Being prepared for everything is so important, and making sure that we're comfortable in smaller surf or windy surf or big surf, whatever. I can back myself knowing I have prepared for what's in front of me. For surfers in particular, we sometimes don't even know if we're competing that day until we get a call at 6:30 in the morning. So it's making sure we're prepared with the right fuel before we know what the call is. Because we're getting up so early, I don't love eating a big meal. I think if I've got a heat first thing in the morning, I'll, sip on an energy drink or bite into a good old protein bar, and then I'm away. I tend to focus on having my protein powder in a smoothie, and then I have EAAs, which are huge for helping me my muscles recover as well, and then hydrate me too.
In surfing, we're obviously outside, so we're exposed to the elements of the sun, wind, weather. And then in terms of the ocean, we're exposed to changes in tide, different currents, different swells. So the energy demand on a comp surfer will come down to the conditions on the day, essentially. And things like hydration is pretty well our number one on a comp day. So this is where we're looking at things like keeping up our water, keeping up our supplements and electrolytes, as well as timing of food and appropriate nutrition to optimize the heat window.
I think recovery-wise, I like to take it a bit slower, make sure I'm getting 3 great meals in a day, and then also sticking to what I know that is the supplements that I trust. So that's always my EAAs, my creatine, my protein powders, my energy drinks, electrolytes.
Our biggest thing for a surfer is to manage their whole routine. So this comes down to things like having good routines around sleep, nutrition and training. These are basic things. Sometimes in high performance sport, doing the fundamentals and the basics well and consistently is basically what wins. So when we start a competition, there's nothing new, there's nothing out of the ordinary. It's just a continuation of the habits and the foundation that we work on day to day either way.
I've committed to this sport because I want to be the best, and I have had this goal of making the World Surfing League Championship Tour for as long as I kind of can remember and have started competing. It is tough. There may not be the golden trophies all year round, but you always have that one major goal. But I think in order to achieve that, you have to tick off all those other small major goals that you set out for yourself as well. And I think I've learned the hard way of if I don't set goals, then obviously I probably won't achieve what I really want out of the sports.
In the ocean, preparation is about being ready for anything. In endurance sport, it's about enduring everything. Longer sessions, higher volume, and a constant balance between fueling, recovery, and performance. Because when the workload increases, so does the margin for error. For triathlete Lachie Jones and Ironman Matt Bevilaqua, performance is built on endurance. The ability to sustain effort session after session.
So with the rise of endurance sports, one of the things that we've established is how much hydration they really need. Essential amino acids and understanding what their hydration gives them to keep their blood lactate down to ensure that they get the best results. Utilising things like supplementation to make sure we keep the calories down, but still keep protein levels up, still keep energy levels nice and high and balanced out throughout the training day.
I'm Lachie Jones, professional triathlete. For us, it's pretty simple. We swim and we ride a bike and then we run. It's just basically combining the 3 sports into one. A big training week is big. We have 6 key sessions. We space them out through the week. So 2 swim, 2 bike, 2 run. A Monday is pretty aerobic. It's all kind of easy, but it's still about a 6-hour day. Tuesday is very VO2, high intensity swim and run sessions. Wednesday's the same. It's a 6 or 7 hour, very high aerobic day. Thursday is a real threshold day, so we're trying to find, I guess, that critical race pace. Friday's a bit of a recovery, which is nice. We only have about 2 hours of training that day, and Saturday, Sunday are again very threshold tempo, very structured. The key sessions we kind of use as a bit of a race simulation. Anything that we're going to be doing on race day that we maybe need to train for, all the sort of like 1% details, we'll try replicate what that race day is in a week time. We'll try to replicate that. You can't really go back to back multiple days in a row of high intensity. You're not giving yourself that chance to recover and I guess adapt from the training that you're doing. So yeah, I guess just training smarter, not harder. It really is the true saying. Using the guys at BSC, like they've been a massive help in getting my nutrition right, making sure I'm supplementing. I fueling day is probably different to quite a lot of athletes out there. For us, it's just consume as many calories as possible. You know, when you're getting those 6 or 7 hour training days and you're burning a ridiculous amount, you are burning close to 6,000 calories. It's like, how can you eat that much? You're having to eat constantly on rides, and when you get home you might be full from everything you ate on the ride, but you still need to have a big breakfast and you need to have your lunch before the second and third training. My supplement use, it's almost the same as my nutrition. It's very much varied through the day. Like our BSC electrolytes that we take, I almost take them religiously in every single session, and even protein, like high protein, I'll have almost after every key session. Individualize it as best as possible. Like we train in a squad of about 15 to 20 guys, and it's very much, let's not get caught up in what they're doing. What am I lacking? What am I doing wrong? Grow from that. Do the big picture things right before you do the 1% of things right. I think a lot of people try to get the 1%ers, they try to like get the right supplements, they try to get the right equipment. Just do the training first. Train like a pro, consistent training. You've got to get the consistent training in to really build a big engine, to then focus on the nitty gritty after that.
I'm Matt Bevilaqua. I'm a surf Ironman. I have won the Surf Ironman professional series twice. I've won the Coolangatta Gold, which is an iconic endurance race in our sport. Yeah, I've been racing professionally for 14 years now. Surf Ironman is 4 different disciplines. We paddleboard, swim, we run, and we also paddle the surf ski, which is like a kayak in the surf. Growing up, I wasn't a naturally talented athlete. I actually never really won any races in Tasmania. I was a slow burn, but I've learned that hard work can overcome talent. Our weekly training routine is around about 15 sessions per week, almost hitting that 30-hour mark. We're swimming 4 times a week. We've got two designated run sessions, 2 designated gym sessions. We ski train in the afternoons, Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and the other afternoons, Tuesday and Thursday afternoon, we're board paddling. So it's a conditioning-based program where you've got to hit key sessions, but it's basically building you up for racing almost every week during the summer. The Saturday morning iron session, we do up to 4 Ironmans in that sessions. It's a lot of mental endurance to stay applying those skills without mistakes throughout the whole 2.5 hour session. Early in my career, I couldn't get to that Saturday. I couldn't complete the week. And still to this day, I try and tell young athletes in our club, completing that week is a skill and a real achievement. If you can complete that week 4 or 6 times in a row, you're almost ready to race. I'm 34 now, so the way I shape my week, consistency is key there, but also listening to my body a lot more. When I'm feeling fatigued, it's mainly just complete that session. Don't go outside of your limits. Don't be pushing yourself to the next level. It's good to know when to push and when to not. It's incredibly debilitating carrying around extra weight in our sport when you're running on the soft sand, trying to do 3 different disciplines. Yeah, got to stay lean, got to stay specific and not developing weight where I don't need it. Nutrition's obviously become more and more important, and becoming older as well, I need to be really on top of fueling for those sessions, never being in carbohydrate deficit or fat deficit. It's a busy day, it's hard to get those meals in because you want to be training throughout and you don't want to be training on a full stomach as well, so you need to be timely, you can't be rushing and doing things late. I think that's one of the best things about BSC supplements are you don't have to plan too much. You can just have them in the car ready to go. With my creatine, I just have that on the bench. That's the first thing I have when I wake up, hit my creatine. And then I've got bars in the car, I've got bars in my bag, I've got RTDs. I've also got a non-stimp pump that I have before my afternoon session. So no caffeine. I'll sleep well at night because that's crucial, but I'll also be able to get up and about for that afternoon session if I've had a big day. So utilization, it's just easy to grab and go. Training like a pro is consistent commitment approach to that preparation that you've outlined and executing it.
Endurance builds the engine, the ability to sustain effort over time. But for some athletes, performance isn't defined by one system alone. It's about managing multiple demands at once. For CrossFit athlete Hannah Blair, that balance defines everything.
Hannah is a lot of things. I am a gym owner. I'm a wife. I'm a dog mum, a CrossFit athlete, and I'm also an ex-professional ballerina. So when I finished ballet, I had a really bad back injury that I still manage now. I wasn't able to do anything. I couldn't lift weights. I could barely do a kettlebell swing. My husband, back then, he did CrossFit and he told me to come along for a class. I did it and I absolutely died, but I stuck around. I kept doing it. It happened to save my back because I've been able to build so much muscle around the injury. And now, 5 years later, I'm able to compete at our semi-final event for Oceania, which is really cool. Mondays, I train in the morning and I do our weightlifting class. Tuesday, Wednesday is regular class. I just do 1 hour of class. And then Thursdays, I do our conditioning class. Sometimes I will do a second training session as well. I train Friday morning. Saturday, sometimes I do, sometimes I just coach. Generally about 5 days a week. I recommend to most people that you find some time to have some sort of stretching or mobility or rehab or prehab, whatever that is that you can fit into your day. Anything is better than nothing. So whether that's 5 minutes after the class, stretching a few muscle groups of things that you've done throughout the day that will complement it, it's extremely important. If I let my recovery and my mobility slide, I will feel little niggles that will remind me that they're there. They'll stay around for a while, and if I don't give enough attention to it, that can progress into a worse injury. So that's when I need to pull myself in and be like, hey, I need to actually recover more. You do not want to max out every week or every day. It's not going to do you any benefit. So perfecting the technique and then slowly increasing your volume over time is the best way to go.
The hybrid athlete. So we've heard a lot about this term over the last couple of months and maybe even the last couple of years. But what we really mean by a hybrid athlete is there's a couple of different things. Okay, we're going to have to run, we're going to have to be strong, we're going to have to do a whole bunch of things that gas our legs out, really get that lactate pumping through the body. What we want to ensure is that we know exactly what point we're going to hit those peaks and those troughs so that we can balance that out and ride that wave through.
We generally have several training sessions a week that are focused on strength, and then a few are focused on conditioning. We also have some weeks that feel a bit more like a deload, so there'll be less volume, less heavier weights, and that will just give everyone's body a bit of a break. So I use supplements like all throughout the day. First thing in the morning, I have my protein oats. Maybe I'll have some greens in the morning as well too. Creatine is in my water, but I find time to spread it out throughout the day.
Understanding any of the supplements that we're taking, we need to understand how they're going to affect our body. We need to look at the volumes, we need to look at the quantities and really make sure that we are hitting what is critical for us, not just for someone else. One of the biggest red flags is that burnout phase, where people are hitting that 3 o'clock and really getting that solid slump or turning up to training in a bad mood, mental state is not good. Understanding what supplements you can actually use to get through that, be it an energy drink mid-afternoon, using your creatine to balance through that fog and that low mental aptitude is really critical around that, but also understanding when it's time to rest and recover.
I definitely prioritize recovery and also having time for like chiro and physio and massage appointments as well too. Everyone gets little niggles at times, especially when you're pushing your body that much and your training volume increases at a certain point, which for me it has right now. So after class, I'll spend, 10, 15 minutes just doing it. It's not fun, it's not glamorous, it's not cool, but those are the things that really add up over time when you're consistent.
We have to get the elements correct. Okay, some of these high rock style races are only an hour to an hour and a half long. So we need to know what your blood lactate's doing to hit that, okay? We need to ensure that they're well hydrated before they start. There's not a lot of time in an hour and a half or an hour even to take on good quality nutrition. You're gonna have to have that all banked and make sure that you've got it in beforehand. The idea there is we've got to start looking at this process a long way out from a competition. If that event's a little bit longer, we've got some little leeway to play with and be able to take some food on, maybe even an energy drink during, maybe some supplements, whatever that might look like. But we want to make sure that our planning is critical for that event so that we can peak and master how we want to achieve that.
I'm showing up for my people when I compete. I'm representing my gym and I'm also doing it for my community. So I feel like I need to show up on the days where I don't feel like training at the moment. I have to do the extra sessions. I have to do the extra lifting sessions on my own at the moment, just because I want to give it the best shot that I can.
In contact sports, performance is tested differently. It's not just about output, it's about impact, repeated efforts, collisions, and the ability to recover and go again. Because at this level, you don't just train to perform, you train to withstand it. For athletes like Layne Morgan and Madison and Teagan Levi, that standard is non-negotiable.
For our contact sports, the things that are non-negotiables are making sure they are strong, resilient, and making sure that ultimately they're mobile enough to get through that contact, be resilient, and actually take the brunt of some big hits.
Hi, I'm Layne Morgan and I play for the Parramatta Eels. I'm a female athlete playing a game that is full of hard hits, big contact, fast runs. Starting with the Parramatta Eels, now we're training Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Fridays. So it's definitely a leap up from where I used to be. We're about 3 days a week. First and foremost is wake up, get myself ready, do some mobility, some recovery in the morning, making sure that I fuel, start my hydration, start looking after my body. I also pack my meals, make sure I'm not missing out on anything, and then head from work to training. I think gym just makes you feel great crossing over onto the field, makes you feel powerful, confident. For myself, I'm coming up against girls that are bigger than me. I'm generally one of the small ones in the team, but I know if I'm lifting their body weight, I'm sweet. And I think like as a female, if you can like go past your body weight in bench press, that's like a go-to thing to do. So it's always good to have a good bench press up there. As I've played sport for a long time, little injuries have come as well. So making sure I've got some shoulder exercises in there, hamstrings, adductors for your shoulder, like some rotator cuff type exercises and some calf things. Honestly, I could tell you an injury in each of those spots. So it's making sure that I'm staying on top of those previous injuries that I've had from a long time ago. As I've grown up, I've definitely seen a lot of athletes do different things in the recovery, pre-game space and things like that. It's being mindful of, sleep is priority, hydration, fuel, and recover. It's just being disciplined in that aspect because that's, exactly what separates the pros. I'm pretty religious with my supplements. I love BSC. It's a brand that I've been surrounded by for a long time now and one that has been trusted throughout my career with the HASTA testing. But I think for me, pre-workout, I love the BSC Pre. It's got the hardest hit of caffeine, but mixing that with creatine and usually an electrolyte as well. So their hydration mix is really important because I don't want to go into a game dehydrated. I try and have the water before, but as you know, through sport, you lose so much sweat and that's that salt that's coming out. So making sure that I've got stores backed up in my body ready to go. Relentlessly ruthless is kind of my slogan that I take into games. It's something that kind of ties in how I play and what I'm about as an athlete. Relentless just being that never give up attitude. So out on the field when we're doing when things get hard, don't drop off. And just being ruthless is just every movement, give it your all. And I think that's something that really shows off in how I play because I'm someone that will go down to the wire and I'll give it my all and I'll put everything into each movement. I'm not going to lax off.
In comparing the athletes of a sevens program to maybe an NRLW or even the women's 15s game, those sevens athletes have got to play for 14 minutes and then they have to go again, potentially even the very next day. Whereas the NRLW or the Super W girls, they're looking at running through a game a week. For those sevens athletes, we're looking at 3 or 4 days of intense competition where they've got to recover nutrients, get everything in and really dominate over a very short period of time.
The back-to-back tournaments, our schedule, some tournaments are just 1 week, but then the 2 weeks. So coming into that second week, you've played 6 games already. The week before, you're going in, you have another 6 games to go, and it's 6 14-minute games in that high-performance environment is very grueling. But I think the environment we are in and the way we train simulates how we play. So just knowing that we've done the preparation, we've done the work, and our body will go, it's fit, it's primed, it's ready to go. So just staying in that process and just getting around each other.
Whatever you do out in the field, whether it's playing or training, you always have to train how you play. I always go out there, I'm an aggressor out in the field and I love to run hard, and whether it's tackling hard or running through people, that's something I enjoy doing. So when I go out and training, that's something that I implement in my everyday training.
When it comes to your actual strength profiling of an athlete, what we need to ensure is that they're still getting the heavy stimulus, those 3s and 5 reps, through to that muscular endurance. So their training volume must be balanced, and looking at both strength qualities is an important way to train.
I first came into the program weighing 66 kilos. Between now and then, I'm actually weighing at 82 kilos. So being able to put on almost, 16 kilos of muscle, but stay as fit and as fast as I have been, but getting stronger, it just shows that weight doesn't actually necessarily mean slow, heavy.
In a female athlete, you lose your power very quickly, and having to train in the gym more often helps you. Even when we're in off season, still go back to the foundation and what works best and making sure that we're doing the movement properly, but that has definitely helped me become a pro athlete. I really enjoy back squat, and it shows the strength and power, and that's what I do in my game. But also something that I constantly need to work on is my bench press. So if I move away from that, when I come back, I can't add as much weight. So making sure that I stay consistent so then I can add weight and add a bit more power to it.
One of the things about recovery is it's the final frontier, whether it be sleep, understanding your diet requirements post-match, understanding it post-training, making sure that you're actually getting off screens. All of those things have become critical pieces of an average athlete's daily week.
The diet for most female athletes is a lot of under-eating, and with us having the support from a company like BSC to help us get on those extra nutritional benefits is something that's super important. So making sure if we're not getting enough during the day, just having extra protein or extra carbs or something that helps us get over the line.
If you're doing the 1%ers right, then the range between your fatigue and not being fatigued will shorten, and being your best and not your best will shorten up. Looking after your body is the main priority.
I think the beauty of the great athletes is you're never really satisfied. It sounds kind of funny when I say I'm never really satisfied with my performance, because I can know that I'm never going to be perfect. There's always going to be something that I can work on, something that I can get better at, and if I'm doing all the 1%ers to ensure I'm in that position to keep getting better.
Strength underpins everything. But at the highest level, it's not just about lifting more, it's about lifting better. Technique, position, timing, small adjustments that unlock significant gains. Because in strength sports, progress isn't random, it's coached. For athletes like Kyle Bruce, working alongside elite strength coach Sebastian Oreb, performance is built through precision, patience, and the pursuit of marginal gains.
When you're looking to get the most out of a strength athlete, the most out of a power athlete, utilising the right skill set will give you that and make sure that the coach can show you the pathway forward. One of the things that I believe and have believed since I was a young man is that the change that you can get from a good coach is absolutely monumental. A good coach is critical to every athlete at every level.
Kyle Bruce sent me a message saying, hey bro, I just did a deadlift 275 kilograms. Feel free to critique it on your social media if you want. So I made a video on social media and posted it, and I thought, you know what? Hey Kyle, why don't you just come down and let's just go for something big?
I know there's huge differences in powerlifting and weightlifting as a sport. There's a lot of things that I don't know, there's a lot of unknown, but I'm really excited to learn, and obviously being with one of the best in the world, coach is actually the strongest deadlifter in the world, I'm sure I can maybe do something cool.
So in our power sports, one of the critical things is the time that it takes and the changes that you need to hit certain personal bests. The coach's eye will often be the thing that changes that. Everyone has different technical pieces, they have different lifting ability, and they have different structure.
I'm gonna push him, and I'm hoping for a 300 kilogram deadlift. So that's what he did the 275 kilogram deadlift on, a weightlifting bar. The deadlift bar is longer and thinner. So when you put the plates on the end, there's more bend. And that's a bit of an advantage if you do it correctly. Let's go to deadlift now. Yeah. What are the things that he did and how would I change that to make it a deadlift? So the first thing that he did was his stance was, that's, as he said, toes pointed very slightly outwards. Yep. But this stance here, in my opinion, is wider than necessary because we don't, I'm sure that you're factoring in how are you gonna catch that bar when you do a clean? Correct. And how are you gonna squat into position when you do that clean? Yeah. We're not doing a squat, you're not catching that bar. So therefore, the most efficient position is where your arms are actually straight down. I can't go straight down with my feet here. So that's what I factor in. Priority is leg drive, and you can get optimal leg drive with a hip width stance. Now, hip width stance and arms on the outside of that. So have a look at that. Now my arms are straight down, therefore I'm traveling probably less by about an inch.
Wow, okay.
So I'm gonna give you 2 inches of range of motion by going 1 inch comes from the bendy barbell, the deadlift bar, and another inch comes from bringing your stance in and bringing your grip in. So your arms are now straight down. This is what I want. I want you to hang your arms here. Yep. So this is what I like to do, is stay standing. Yep. That's how it should feel, with your arms just hanging like that, sagging. Ooh. So head to ceiling and arms just drop. So none of this. Just stand, don't jump. It's not explosive like a weightlifting clean. Good, that's beautiful, that's so refined, that's clean, that's called smooth. Smooth, stand. The way that it was taught to me by powerlifting legend Boris Shiko is the difference between powerlifting and weightlifting. With a weightlifter, you'd look at 100 kilograms and maybe put 140, 160 kilograms of force through that ground. Yeah. With powerlifting, if it's 100 kilograms, you put just enough weight, just enough force through the ground to pick up 100 kilograms and stand. No shrug, no shrug. That's the weightlifting cue that you've got with the head position, is you want to be upright when you catch that to be in the front squat. So I say crown of the head to the ceiling and you were here, that's head up. So what I want with the deadlift is I want you to think about reaching the head towards the ceiling, right? So watch me. Don't look up. I want you to reach the crown of the head towards the ceiling, okay? Yeah. So the chin is slightly tucked. Eyes on that spot. Reach the crown of your head towards the ceiling. Good. Armpits to pelvis. Stand, no shrug. Beautiful. You're looking like a powerlifter, brother.
I just want to do that. Yeah, okay.
He's strong. I just want that one heavy deadlift, and if it's 300, it's a really good day.
Do much mobility stuff in powerlifting, before deadlifting?
Do you or should you? They're two different answers, right? So I know. I'm as stiff as a barbell, but it would absolutely benefit to do some mobility.
Okay.
And I would say a lot of mobility for powerlifting is more just about long-term joint health.
Yeah, of course.
So if you don't work on your mobility, use it or lose it principle applies. Yeah. And that's something with me, is I never factored in mobility for my powerlifting. Yep. And I just thought, just doing the powerlifting work, I'm just going to keep on being as mobile as I need for powerlifting. Yep. But I'll tell you now, with the strength work that I do, my mobility has decreased.
Okay, so what I like to do with deadlifting is use a higher belt position.
Wow.
Ooh, I'm scared. But it's not tight. See, it's quite loose.
Okay.
But then from here, I brace into it.
Yeah, got it.
Got it. Yeah, now it's tight. Yeah.
Right? So in weightlifting, the way that you did it, you just kind of pulled it tight around your waist.
Yeah.
But that Velcro belt is quite flexible.
Yeah.
This has no flex in it. Armpits, reach down. Yeah, beautiful.
Okay, yeah, I see.
Did you feel the support?
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, huge difference.
Okay.
I find low expectations equals higher results. And this has always been my approach when it comes to competing, even at the Olympic level. You know, yeah, I'd love to do 300, but if I could do even 1 kilogram more than what I've done before, I'm happy with that. So that low expectation will probably lead to a higher result.
Beautiful. I need you to work, but don't try and thump it off the ground.
Yeah,
because
you're right,
usually that thump off the ground takes you out of
position. Yeah.
250 kilograms. Technique. Like slack out of the bar, head to ceiling. Stretch. Okay. I need you to maintain that position so that it's...
Yeah, I see what I did wrong on that. I'll make the adjustment. Like, otherwise it won't move. I need to do it right. Yep.
Yeah! Mate!
Okay. That's all right.
Excuse my excitement. Hey, bro, 300's there if you want it, man.
Let's put it on. Being a professional, I know how to make those differences and just work with it, you know, and I think that's the best thing about being a high-level athlete is being adaptable to your situations.
Yeah! You're a beast! Yes! Beast, bro.
Oh my God.
I knew you had 300.
Olympic lifting and powerlifting are two very different sports, and they both require different technical and positional models. Working with Sebastian, he taught me the correct way to do it, and it actually felt easier even though it was heavier, which is quite surprising, yeah. Should we go through to it? No, no way, I'm done. I retire, that's it.
Underneath the sessions, the structure, and the sacrifice, training like a pro isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. Doing the basics over and over again with intent. Train with purpose, not just effort. Because performance isn't built in one moment. It's built in every session leading up to it. This is Train Like a Pro.